Live
from Movie Hero.
It's Saturday
night.
Hey guys, welcome to the first inaugural episode of Live from Movie Hero. It's Saturday night. So that intro was a little long. I wanted to go big for the first one. I might shorten it up for some future episodes, but I just kind of wanted to give you a sense of kind of what we're going to be covering and stuff. So hopefully there's no copyright stuff for that. We'll see what happens, but yeah. Basically, we're going to be just breaking down our top 10. I'm going to kind of I got a kind of like a rough top 30, but from 30 to 10, I'm just going to name the names, and then when we get to 10, we'll really dive deep and get into some of our favorite sketches and like quotes and just things that we love about these cast members. So here to break it all down with me, I have one of my good friends, Mark, the Enginerd Johnson. How's it going?
Hey there. Jordan and I, growing up, we'd watch Saturday Night Live a whole bunch, and so we have definitely our favorites, and this is going to be fun.
Yeah, we haven't seen what each other's lists are. I mean, I think I got a quick peek at maybe one of at Mark's list, but I try not to really like look at it too much because I kind of want to just go in fresh and not really know exactly what it's going to be. So we're essentially kind of seeing each other's list for the first time, which would be cool. So yeah, we'll just I just jump right into it though. So I am just gonna just name off some names of some people that are kind of honorable to mention, but Saturday Night Live is a stacked cast. So I had so much fun preparing for the show, like just going through all the old clips and just watching like so many hilarious sketches from SNL. It's impossible to put like all our favorites into just one episode because because the show's just iconic. It's been going since the 70s, so it's definitely one of those iconic shows. But I'm just kind of gonna start here. This is kind of what I thought my honorable mentions would be. So at number 30, I have Mikey Day. 29, Chris Parnell. 28, Rachel Dratch. 27, Jimmy Fallon. 26, Beck Bennett. 25, Molly Shannon. 24, Sherry O'Terry. 23, Amy Poehler. 22, Tim Meadows. 21, Rob Schneider. 20, David Spade. 19, Jason Sudeikis. 18, Pete Davidson. 17, Kyle Mooney. 16, Kristen Wiig. 15, Phil Hartman. 14, Kenan Thompson. 13, Will Forte. 12, Tracy Morgan. And 11, Chris Kattan. So those are kind of like a bunch of my honorable mention that I thought deserves it, or at least a shout out for sure. And so I kind of want to start off. So I'll just ask you, Mark, what's your favorite era of Saturday Night Live? Like, what's the era you kind of enjoy watching the most?
Yeah, I think you'll be able to see from my list what my favorite era is. Definitely there is one. It seems like a huge difference. I've always wondered, like, between the different casts, like how much of it has to do with like the time of your life you're watching it, and how much has to do with like the quality of the actors. But I feel like there's been definitely some ups and downs in SNL, and I think my like favorite era is usually by like there's like one headliner that there's like a few people that you really remember from that time. So I think my favorite era was the era of like the headliner was Will Ferrell. That was 1999-ish. And then also before that, the cast that came in before him, like Chris Farley and Adam Sandler and those I'd say my second favorite. And then after that, probably the era with digital shorts.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of like the like late 2000s, kind of maybe early 2010s. Actually, probably more of that when you had like Chris Parnell, Kenan Thompson, and and I'm forgetting some of the big names, but yeah, those are like some of the big ones. You had Fred Armisen, and there's another one. So, yeah, and Kristen Wiig, all that. Yeah,
those have really been the three eras that I've enjoyed watching. The other ones haven't really spent a whole lot of time. Like even the recent casts, I haven't been watching them much. Have you been keeping up with the new SNL episodes?
I've been watching some of them, so like I actually really do like the current cast that they have quite a bit. It's not my favorite. I'd probably put it maybe out of all the eras, maybe like fourth in of like my favorite eras. But mostly I've been watching it more for the hosts. I remember Adam Sandler hosted it near the end of last year. That was a pretty awesome episode. I'm trying to think who even hosted it at all this year. I mean, that's like one of the big stand. Oh, and I remember when they had Eddie Murphy come back for the first time. So that was an awesome episode. So mostly I'm just like lately I watch it more for the hosts, but back in like the 90s, early 2000s, like I definitely watch it for the cast more than just the host. So and probably my favorite area is probably the like late 90s, but actually I started years ago. I actually started watching all the seasons, and so I actually watched every season from the very beginning, probably up until about 90, maybe 92 or 93. I actually watched all of that. So like that's pretty interesting to see some of those years in the 80s when when like there's a couple of years where there's almost nobody really good in the cast, even before Eddie Murphy showed up. And then he showed up, and like he was the only one for years that was really any good. And then you had Joe Piscopo, I guess, it was like kind of okay. He was like considered the second best in the 80s, but and then I think probably around the late 80s, they Lorne Michaels hired a bunch of stand-up comedians. So I think that's where it started to become good again. So probably like 88 or maybe 87, they actually hired Billy Crystal. He was on there. And then they had John Lovitz, Dana Carvey were like some of the like first ones to kind of show back up. And then it just kind of trickled into like all the people that we really know and love, the Adam Sandlers, the David Spade, Chris Farley, like all of those guys. So yeah, and then just kind of went on from there.
What's your opinion of Lorne Michaels?
I think he's kind of interesting guy. Like I don't know him, but like from what I've seen, like he always seemed like a real stern kind of guy. Like I don't know, like he doesn't really have much of a sense of humor, and just relies on everyone else to have the humor. But like maybe he's different when you actually meet him. But also too that he just seems to kind of fire people in like random times for random reasons. Like I know when Adam Sandler got fired, it was the same time that they fired Chris Farley. Like they fired those two at the same time. That seems like a big mistake. But I mean,
yeah, it's interesting because he's been doing it for so long, and he doesn't seem like a very likable person, and he kind of reminds you of like everyone's like it reminds you of like someone's boss who like you have to like do everything they say or you're out. He's like the god of Saturday Night Live. And it's interesting listening to I read Chris Kattan's book.
nice.
And it's really good about like showing the inner workings of SNL, and you get to see that in the book, that basically you have to be in his you don't know if you're like in his good graces or not, but you hope you are, because everything depends on it, whether your sketch gets put in or not. Even I was reading that the actors in Saturday Night Live, he would put them into tiers. So there was a tier 1 and tier 2, and then later there's actually 3 tiers. And so if you're like if he likes you, then you're in the tier 1. You get to be in you get to be placed in all the skits. If you're in tier 2, then like every once in a while. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I noticed when like some cast members come in, especially like from like older seasons, there's some people that have really made it big, but when they're on Saturday Night Live, like I feel like some people you didn't see a lot. Like I don't really feel like I saw a lot of Chris Rock. I mean, he definitely had like a lot of iconic sketches later on, but I felt like when he started, we didn't see much of him. Maybe even David Spade a little bit too, like to start off kind of, but they became definitely like super popular. And like you say about Lorne Michaels too, it's almost like he can make her or break your career, like in a sense, because it's like if he's going to put you in the sketches, you're going to get more screen time, and then like most of the cast, or at least a big chunk of it, have gone on to have huge careers, huge movie careers and stuff. So it's kind of interesting.
You want to hear my honorable mentions?
Sure, yeah. Let's get into the
I don't have
mentions.
a long list, so I did like a top 10, but I added a few honorable mentions after that. You'd mentioned Horatio Sands and like Will Forte and Dana Carvey, but I'd say the two honorable mentions that I wish I had more space in the top 10 would be Jimmy Fallon, and Kenan Thompson, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of the success of SNL actors is in like how likable they are. So there's some of them that like are really like smile a lot, and it seems like even if you're not that funny, if you just smile a lot, then
Yeah, right.
people like you. Like Pete Davidson.
Yeah, right.
Like he's not really that good of a like comedian in my opinion, but
Yeah.
when he smiles, everybody seems to like him.
Yeah,
But like
right.
Jimmy Fallon, he was good, and he's really I think he's been a good late night show host. And
Yeah.
Kenan Thompson, man, he's just stuck with it for so long.
Yeah,
He may be the longest serving. Well, at the current time, he's the longest serving cast member, and he
I
just
think he's the longest of all time. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like I remember him on the Nickelodeon when he was on that channel and different shows, and really
Yeah.
liked him. What was that kids? There's like a kids comedy show sketch.
Oh, you mean all that? Yeah.
All that he was on all
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yep.
and man, he's done the sketch comedy for a long time, and so I like him.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So recently, though.
Ooh, what's
Yeah.
up
Right.
with that?
That.
What's up
Yep.
with that?
With that. Yep. Yeah. So like speaking of Kenan Thompson, this kind of relates to it. But I wanted to look up what was Chris Farley's last appearance on Saturday Night Live, and so he actually came back and he hosted, and then he actually appeared after he hosted actually on all that with Kenan Thompson. So that they have like a cooking show where Kenan Thompson's trying to be a chef, and then Chris Farley comes in and just is wacky, just throws the food everywhere, and just is making like a huge scene of it. And then
I'll have to look for that.
and then 1 month after that, Chris Farley passed away. So like it was
Wow.
crazy. Like it was like that quick. I even think maybe even less. It might have been like literally weeks, just like a couple of weeks after that. So yeah, but you have to definitely look it up, because recently I've been finding some Chris Farley sketches that like I've never seen before, and I feel like has been one of the ones that I've watched the most. But there's still some sketches floating around out there that I haven't seen, because Saturday Night Live's kind of weird. Like they edit out a lot of content when they replay episodes. So like all the ones that they have on, like, I think it's that they're on Peacock now. They've kind of moved around a little bit, but they have a lot of stuff edited out, and I think a lot of it's for copyright reasons. But like some of it just seems for weird and random reasons. Maybe someone said something offensive or slipped an F-bomb or something like that. I don't know, like I've seen episodes that are like as short as even 15 minutes. Like it's kind of weird. So
Yeah, in his book, Chris Kattan talks about that like he was, when he was doing research, he was trying to find like YouTube clips of him on the show, and he found that most of the clips of him were not available because he in his sketches he mainly used, like, he liked using music for his sketches, and
okay.
so because he used music, they didn't have the rights to play it after the show, and so they've had to take all those out. And so there's a lot of them that there's this one in particular I try to remember. Like, it was one of my favorites for Chris Kattan, where he's there's like giant poster of him. He's like taking a woman home from a date, and there's like a giant poster of him on the wall, and he's like super high on himself. And
That's
the
awesome.
only thing she can see is this, like, the entire wall is covered with his face.
That's awesome.
But one of those is just not available. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
one reason why I haven't been watching much of Saturday Night Live, is like to get the full experience with the musical guests and everything.
You want to,
man, they take all that out.
that way. Yeah. So like normally I don't ever condone torrenting, but for Saturday Night Live, I just feel like I mean I'm just gonna condone it just because I mean it's the only way to get the full experience. They are starting to release actually some of the music clips just separately on their YouTube channel, so you can watch the episode and then separately watch the musical guests. So they are starting to do that now. I have noticed. So it's kind of like a newer thing just in the last year or two. But I'm gonna throw up a couple thing. So my dad says, quite the intro. Yeah, I went big on the intro for this first one, and then I may kind of edit it down, but there's just so many awesome like sketches that I just couldn't pick and choose. And then my my dad's also a fan of the original cast. Who says what? Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, and John Belushi. We're no good. You're out of your mind, Jordan. So
we've got some angry listeners today.
Yep.
Well, too bad he can't like call in like a talk show and like call up on. Okay, dial 1-800 movie hero, and then he calls in. He's like, "What? You gotta include these people.
What's your problem?" Yeah, because it's like
you millennial.
There is a way to actually do phone calls. I just got to figure out how to set it up. There's definitely a way to do it. So that's something that's on my next list. And also one of the things I want to try to set up is having an actual timer on the screen. So for our other show, Cheerranker Fights, we started doing the best and worst movie remakes, and the guys were just debating so long about the movies. We're spending 15 minutes per pick on until we're not getting through. We're going to film on Monday part 3 of best and worst movie remakes. So
yeah, we got to keep it quick.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a little timer on the screen just to kind of like not have it go too long. But what my dad said about all the like classic cast, like I actually I like a lot of the classic actors like Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray. Like I love all those guys as individual actors, but for Saturday Night Live sketches, like there's not really any that really stand out to me as like super funny or really catch my attention from the first season. Probably the one that actually does is probably John Belushi. Like I always remember the like Samurai Warrior one where he's at the Samurai hotel and he's just making up fake Japanese words. So like the guy comes to try and check in, and he's like, "Oh, what don't you want to hot?" And
that's a good one.
He ends up chopping the whole entire desk in half. So yeah, that one's classic. And
there's yeah, I agree. All those people were good actors. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Murray, and John Belushi. They're all good. I haven't seen these Saturday Night Live episodes from that era, but I know at least from movies and from the few clips I've seen that they were pretty top notch.
Yeah. Well, we can just jump into it. So basically, how we're going to do it, just to kind of explain it to people from here on out with the top 10. We're just going to go just back and forth. We're going to trade off, and then we're going to see how much time we have at the end based on how it goes. But we're kind of going to go back and forth. I ideally kind of like to make a combined top 10 where we like take maybe your top 5 and my top 5, and then we have a definitive top 5. But I mean, top 10. But we'll see how the time goes, kind of, for doing that. But so yeah, you want to start on yours first?
I'll start from the bottom then.
Right.
Jason Sudeikis, he's one of those. He has that smile that makes everybody like him. He's got this kind of this cocky, smiley attitude. Most of his sketches that I just find really funny. They tend to place him with other people where it just kind of it works the way he's doing it. Chris Kattan, he was a very physical actor, so and used music a lot, like I had mentioned, and I just really enjoyed his biography about it. And unfortunately, his career was cut a little short because he got injured doing one of the physical comedy acts. So he flung himself in one of the sketches. He flung himself back in his chair, and his chair fell back and it landed and he hurt his neck, and after that he had pain for years after that, and so basically from that sketch forward he wasn't able to do the same type of physical comedy.
It says here that he broke his neck doing that.
Yeah.
What it says, yeah, which is crazy. Yeah.
So we're gonna go back and forth.
Yeah. So
Okay.
is that your number 10? Chris Kattan?
So I did 2.
Okay. So
9
you
and
did 2. So I can do
10 and
2.
9.
No,
Okay.
that's it. That's totally fine. So yeah. So my number 10, I have Andy Samberg. So, and for Andy Samberg, I kind of want to just mention like pretty much like the sketches he's known for, and I gotta remember to call them sketches. For some reason, like I've heard you're not supposed to call them skits. I don't know, like sketches are of a higher quality, maybe. I don't know. But,
Okay.
so I'm just trying to use the word sketch, but sometimes skit just comes out automatically. But yeah, so like so so Andy Sandberg's known for the digital shorts, and I kind of feel like maybe doing like the top 10 digital shorts could be a whole episode in of itself, because those are like some of the most amazing things that Saturday Night Live has ever done, I think. And so probably if I had a top 5, so my favorite would be Threw It on the Ground. So I definitely had that one in the intro, and then also Laser Cats. That's another one that's like classic. I think they had like 7 or 8 Laser Cats.
It just kept coming and coming.
Yeah, just over and over again. And then also I like the Boombox one where like all the old people are eating boiled goose. So there's that one. And then I'm also punching people right before they eat, I think is a pretty funny one. And then also the like the Sergio one, like that.
Sergio.
Yeah, the one with like the crazy saxophone players. So you have Andy Sandberg, and he like steps on a talisman, and then you see Fred Armisen sitting there, and he's like, "What'd you do? You broke the sacred talisman. You must pay for that." He's like, "I'm not paying for that. Forget that." And he walks up. He's like, "Then I place a curse on your head." So like everywhere that he goes, that shows him in like a business meeting, and it's John Hamm with a saxophone with his shirt off, and he's all oiled up, and he's with like long hair, kind of looks like Fabio. He just bursts through the wall. He just starts playing crazy saxophone, and he goes, Sergio. And then there's another time where he like pops in during a date, and like the date starts going crazy and like starts dancing with him or something. But yeah, so yeah, Andy Samberg's probably my is my number 10, and then those are 5 of my favorite digital shorts from him. My number 9, I have Chris Rock. So for me, Chris Rock, like I just find his stand-up absolutely hilarious, but it's like a lot of things that he says I can't repeat because I'm white, and like he has a lot of like only for like black people to say. But I think one of the best things about Chris Rock, though, that he had some of the best opening monologues. And so like out of any of the like hosts that I've seen, like he has some of the best, because he essentially just does a whole bunch of his
stand up. Yeah,
material.
that's what he's good at.
Yeah,
he's good at stand up. He's not so good at like characters.
Yeah,
like because he just plays himself in everything that he does.
Yeah, right.
So that's why he's good at doing the host or the monologue.
Yeah, the only character of his that I wanted to give a shout out to, that he had a sketch called The Dark Side with Nat X, where like he was like a black kind of like almost like a Black Panther kind of guy, like power to the people guy, and like he'd always just like have all these things. Like one of the things that he says, I actually wrote down the quote. He says, "Now Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer wasn't black, but he sure got treated like he was." And then they also have an LAPD Rodney King cam where they come in and it's like someone whacking him with a baton or something. It's just pretty funny. And then he just has some like most of his of like his like segments are about like some like racially driven stuff. Like he has a thing about Franklin from Peanuts, the only black character from Peanuts. They didn't get no respect on the show. He never got invited to the party, but then you see Snoopy there and he's just dancing away, but there's no Franklin. And then also he talked about Colin Powell, how like he always thought that if Colin Powell was ever to become a vice president, definitely like the like president, whoever was actually president, would probably get murdered by some black person because they want to have the first black president. This is before Barack obviously, but that's what he said. So that was his words, not mine. But yeah, those are my number 8, my number no, my number 10 and my number 9. What's your number 8?
Mike, let's see. So Mike Myers,
Oh, 9. My
he
so that one,
like Wayne's World. That was funny, and
I was gonna say that was a little bit of a pump for me. That's my number 7, but we can talk about it now because it's not too much higher.
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Wayne's World, and he does a lot of different impersonations. I think Dana Carvey probably does a better job of all the impersonations, but I found him pretty funny.
Yeah.
What was your next one?
Well, for Mike Myers, I was gonna say, do you remember Sprockets that he used to do? It's like
Sprockets, that was a good one.
Yeah, yeah, where he's like, would you like to touch my monkey? And he has a little monkey sitting up there. And he's like, I was happy as a little girl. I'm so happy. And then he'd be dancing to like German techno music or something. That's pretty good. Or there's also Simon in the bathtub where he's like, did you touch my bum? Cheeky monkey. He's like, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. Yep. Yeah. So those are a couple of classic ones, and also my friend Doug Strait, who passed away. Shout out to Doug. We'd always watch this skit from Mike Myers that's called All Things Scottish. So like he'd run a little Scottish shop, and he'd say, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. And he'd like bang on the table, and then he'd like try and sell people Scottish things, which there's I don't really know too many Scottish things, but he would come up with like selling people kilts and saying you have to wear a kilt with no underwear, like that's the traditional way, and he'd like try and like persuade people to do that. It's kind of funny.
There used to be a tiny little shed like in on the Boise bench where it was like I forget, I'm trying to think of the name, but it was this like tiny little Scottish shop. I always found that funny that yeah, this little tiny shop where they sold like Scottish stuff, just like that skit.
But it's like, what things are actually Scottish? I only know kilts and haggis and bagpipes. I don't really know what else.
And Highlander games.
Oh yeah,
I know somebody. I knew somebody who used to compete in those.
Oh really? Oh, that's awesome.
They like throw lead balls and jump over stuff and haul things,
the logs and all that. Yeah.
Throw the logs.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. So my number 8 is actually Adam Sandler for number 8. So Adam Sandler, he's probably one of my favorite actors of all time. I just really like his style of comedy. Just really like connects with me because he's just so goofy and off the wall. So like some of my favorite skits from Adam Sandler, because he was one that like I felt something even got like brushed under the rug. He wasn't featured as much as he could be on Saturday Night Live, but I mean he was, but not like some people. But it's one of my favorites. What was Canteen Boy? So I feel like that one kind of is what inspired the Water Boy. It's like pretty much almost the same character. So yeah, and there's like so many different sketches. There's like one that actually I wanted to just show a little, like I'm gonna see if I can get away with a 10-second little clip here, just to show you what. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Oh yeah. Oh. Hang on 1 second. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me talking?
Yeah, I can hear you talk. Yeah.
Which is weird. I was hearing like a repeat of what I said.
Yeah, Adam Sandler. He was my next person on the list, the number 7, because he. Sorry, just going through these numbers.
No, you're fine.
So he was my number 7. So yeah, I liked like he did the Lunch Lady, and the Opera Man. I love that Opera Man segment where he takes like the latest news and turns it into an opera. Are you trying to show the clip? Oh, I think it's just me now. Well, welcome to the Mark Show, everybody. Oh, dang it.
Well,
Jordan's
I was,
back.
get,
I was going to take over.
I was getting, yeah, I was getting some feedback. Are
Oh, okay. So the clip won't work then?
you getting feedback? Like
No, I'm not getting anything.
I'm like hearing everything being repeated. It's like
Do you
it's
have
really
your...
odd. I don't want to. I don't want to like move.
That was
Well,
only
no,
happening when I had YouTube in a separate window. I had to press stop. Do you have YouTube on a separate window?
oh, maybe that's it. Hang on. Ah, there we go. Okay, yeah. So like somehow it just automatically opened up on a separate window. No, I'm still hearing it. Let me see. Is it?
I can
Sorry
hear
about this,
myself
guys.
talk. I can hear myself talk. I can hear myself talk.
Sorry, technical difficulties, guys. This is like really weird. I don't want it to be like weird for you guys. I don't know if the viewers are actually hearing what I'm hearing, but it's really distracting. I can't even like focus. Okay,
I'm
there we go. I
arguing
went
with
through.
myself. I'm arguing with myself. I'm arguing with myself. I'm talking, trying to talk
Okay,
talk over myself.
well,
Stop talking, Mark. What are you
I think
talking
it's
about?
good. I think it's fixed. Okay,
That's what it sounds like when I...
so somehow it just opened up a couple extra tabs. I don't really understand why, but I actually can still share this. So I'm gonna just give me to share screen. Okay, share screen, share audio. Let's see. You go to the Chrome tab, and I want to play the little clip I have from Canteen Boy. So see if you can see it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so where I want to play it is because I only want to play just a really short little bit because I don't want to get copyrighted. But we'll start here. This is one that's not in the best of Adam Sandler. You've watched they have a DVD release that's the best of Adam Sandler, and it's a different one. That one's the one where he's like being like molested by a scoutmaster or something. But this one's a little different. But this is what it is. Of it, but yeah, that just kind of gives you a little idea, pretty similar to the Water Boy there.
Yeah.
And also too, if you've seen the new movie that the Adam Sandler released for Halloween, it's called Hubie Halloween. It's kind of a similar vein where everyone's picking on him, kind of the way that they pick on Canteen Boy.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that's Adam Sandler, and then
Oh yeah, I went from Canteen to like... he went from Canteen Boy to Water Boy to now it's a thermos, carrying around a thermos.
Right. Yeah, now it's a thermos with like crystal clear, cool water from the mountains that always stays cold or something. But
I feel like Adam Sandler, he kind of goes between like phases where he's like he like puts like a lot of thought and creativity into something, and then he'll like do something lazy, like, oh, what's the next thing? I don't know. I could go from Water Boy to thermos.
Right. Yeah, right. Seriously. But one other one that I just discovered recently. So he has this sketch of Adam Sandler doing bedtime a song to this little kid, but he does it in the style of like Guns N' Roses. So you see him just kind of like so the boy's going to bed, and all of a sudden he just bursts through the like door. You see him dressed as like Axl Rose, and he's like, "Oh, McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O," and it's pretty hilarious. I wanted to see if I could even just like share just a quick clip. This one's even shorter than the clip than the last one, but it is. Yeah, here we go. Oh, hang on. I didn't share the audio. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let me back it up here just a little bit. Okay. Share again. I forgot you got to click the little box that says share audio. Okay. It's called Kitty Metal. That's the name of the sketch. But let's see. Okay, this is it. Are you ready for bed? But anyways, let's see. Let's see if I can stop it. Okay, there we go. But yeah, that's actually one. While I was doing research, I'd never seen that one before, so like I thought that was pretty funny. but just a couple other quick on Adam Sandler. So did you mention Opera Man? I think you mentioned that one, right?
Yeah.
And then he also has the Denise show where like he had just broken up with his girlfriend, so he's like hosting this show, and then he just like laments over this breakup that he has, and so like there's one part where it's like, here's the part in the show where I call up Denise and I hang up on her, so he just will like call her up and then she's like hello, and then he hangs up. He's like, that was great, all right, and let's move on to the next. He's like, here's the part of the show where we call up the guy I heard Denise has been dating, and we hang up on him now, and then when he calls up, like he's like on the phone, and the guy's like, hello. He's like, I'm going to kill you. He's yeah. But then also you have the Gap Girls. You have the Zagat's Restaurant Guide that was in the intro, and then he has the crazy Halloween costumes where he's like hello, I'm Crazy Sneaker Hand. I got a sneaker for a hand. Some people say that I'm crazy, or like when it's like crazy guy under the desk, so I gotta go to the desk, and he's like hi, I'm crazy guy under the desk. You can't see me, but I know that you got some candy, so go ahead and fork it over. If you don't do it, I might come after you, because some people say that I am crazy. But yeah, like he'll just come up with just off the wall stuff that really is like, I don't know, like nonsense, like basically, but it's like hilarious. So yeah, that's my number 8. But what's your number 7?
So that was also my number 7. So my number. So what's your number 7?
My number 7 was actually Mike Myers. So we already talked about Mike Myers.
Number 8. Yeah, we talked about him. Awesome. My number 6 would be got to put a woman on the list, of course. Mm-hmm. Kristen Wiig.
Who's it gonna be? Oh, nice.
She was just hilarious in her skits. The kind of ones you just burst out laughing about. Like she had Donice. She's playing a lady who's got like little baby hands.
Oh yeah.
So instead of like normal hands, she's got these little tiny like baby doll hands that she like sticks in everyone's face. And everyone's just like disgusted by it.
Yeah.
It's just.
And she's on when she's on the Lawrence Welk show, there's like something that she says where she's like, I found a dead cat in the middle of the alleyway, and I took it home and I cooked it, and then I ate it, and I'm Tony's or whatever. Yeah.
And then, the Californians.
Yes, the Californians. That's a classic.
Let's get. Okay, so what you need to do is go on the I-95, take it to the down.
Yeah.
Don't go to downtown, but take it to the I-50, and then take it to the. It's like so hard doing that. Trying to do it.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, where he's like, so actually, like wrote down one of the lines. Oh yeah, where like Bill Hader shows up. He's like, I was thinking I would take Canyon View Drive over to the San Vicente, and then from there I would make a left and get on the 405 North, and then I would just get off on Mulholland Drive. I mean, come on.
I see Clyde says, I think people tend to relate to the cast members who were stars when they were in high school and early college. Comedy styles tend to change over time, make it harder and harder to relate to. And yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I was talking about at the
That makes
beginning.
sense.
That like there's like certain periods that we kind of relate more to. For me, it's just been there's certain periods of time where it's just hard for me to there's like periods of time that I start watching it and then I'm like either this is dumb, this isn't funny, or this is like too profane, and I'm
Yeah.
not interested anymore. And so like there's like periods of time where that's been the case, where it seems like I don't know, it seems like it's really based on the writers too. Some of the writers are like kind of do the same type of skits over and over again.
Yeah, same type of one. Like you have a lot of generic game shows and a lot of generic just kind of talk shows and different things that are over and over. And certain ones are actually really funny, but there's so many of them that it kind of just gets stale after a while. Yeah. But like I can also see um like it's like early Saturday Night Live, that was kind of before our time a little bit, but I can see it like white people find it funny, but like I think that definitely applies to when you're in high school or like when you're maybe like a teenager growing up, or maybe when you were first introduced to Saturday Night Live. That's kind of like the era that you kind of are just kind of like more inclined towards, but like I can definitely see how the early Saturday Night Live is funny. It just never really caught on with me. I'm more of a 90s 2000s kind of person, but yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Kristen Wiig. I'm trying to think if there's any other classic sketches. Like there's definitely, she has the Target lady. I'm working for Target. And you just bought a toilet or whatever, like or a turlet, however she says it. So there's that one, and then there's also the one where she keeps saying like just kidding, just kidding, just kidding over and over again.
Yeah, that one that's another one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's just rambling all these things. She's like, I died and I came to life. I came back to life. Just kidding. I'm the queen of the world. Just kidding. Oh, I did this. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. She says it so fast. She's so good at it, though. Of like being able to ramble all those things off. There's no way I could do it like that. Yeah.
It's great because like with that skit in particular, there are people we know that are like that like they want to like they just want to like they're always trying to show how they're like it's almost like they're being defensive about like, oh, I'm so good and I need everybody to know this. I've known people like that, and for her to do it that way, it's just hilarious.
They want to have like certain stories or certain facts about themselves that just makes them one up everybody or something like that, you know? Yeah. Even if it's not true. Yeah, but like, yeah, it's just funny when I find people like that. I usually like to try and call them out. I'll be like, yeah, right, that's not true. You just made that up. No way. Yeah. But so I'll go on to my number 6. So my number 6 is actually Will Ferrell. So like Will Ferrell was like one of the
punt.
Yeah. So if that's a punt, then we can wait to talk about it. But I do want to say that he's one of the probably the most one of the most iconic people to ever be on Saturday Night Live. When you ask people who are the greatest of all time, I think always in the conversation is going to be Will Ferrell. I think.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's why he's probably too low on. He's higher on my list. I'll just say it that way.
All right then. What's your number 5?
My number 5 would be Andy Samberg. Okay. we talked about him before. He made like Saturday Night Live. It needs like certain actors to try to like get itself popular again when it's on a lull, and I think Andy Samberg like filled that spot where like those digital shorts just totally were the right thing for that time, because YouTube was just coming out, and so
Yep.
releasing the digital shorts was like needed for Saturday Night Live. And I love that kind of humor that he has, where it's just like so random.
Yeah.
And so for the digital shorts, I put him there. Um, like as an actor, like in a sketch, probably not. I don't like him quite as much, but for the digital
Same.
shorts.
Yeah. Do you have some favorite digital shorts? Like that might be some of your
Yeah, the
top.
ones that you mentioned, and some of them are so iconic that like they become part of like my everyday vocabulary. Like
Yeah.
just
Like
randomly, like I'll be holding, like maybe my wife will make something for dinner, and I'll be like, I threw it on the
the
ground.
ground. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she knows
Happy birthday to
exactly
the
what
ground.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Or or like a bouse. I always want
Like
to say
a
that.
mouse. Yeah. Yeah.
I've always wanted to say that like like to an like to an actual boss, or like be the boss and just like do that for fun. Yeah. That'd be awesome. But yeah, the digital shorts are like probably one of my favorite things Saturday Night Light's ever done. So yeah, they're great. So my number 5 is actually Eddie Murphy. For my number 5. So for Eddie Murphy, I felt like he pretty much carried the show through the 80s. I feel like without Eddie Murphy, maybe Saturday Night Live might have gotten canceled. I feel like he, they say that he basically saved the show, and for a lot of those years, Saturday Night Live didn't have Lorne Michaels, so Lorne Michaels left for I think it was for like, I don't know, somewhere between 2 to 5 years. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but eventually he came back, but because whoever was running the show was doing a terrible job. So, but Eddie Murphy, some of my favorite skits from him. So he has this one that uh, that's hilarious. It's called James Brown Celebrity Hot Tub Party. So he just comes out, just like fully like James Brown. He's singing. He has the whole entire band there. He's like he has like all the mannerisms. He's like, watch me now, woo, shake it now, woo, yeah. And he's like, just like dancing everywhere. And then he has this robe on, and he rips the robe off, and he's in this tiny little Speedo. And then he gets in the hot tub, and he's like dancing around in the hot tub. And then he has all the guests of his show just come in and get in the hot tub with him, but they're just dancing in the hot tub. They're not even really like doing any kind of interviewing. They're just like dancing to music, and he's singing. So yeah, that one's pretty funny. And there's also Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. That's one of my favorite
Yeah, I
one.
love that one.
Yeah, where he's like, today, boys and girls, our word of the day is escape. So now it's time for Mr. Robinson to escape out the window before the landlord comes by to collect the rent. And then
yeah, he's my number 4. That
okay.
was one of the sketches I put on my list. Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
I always like when he does the thing to the camera where he's like,
Ghetto neighborhood.
yeah, right, yeah. And the landlord always will like pound on. Will be like pounding on.
What do you want? He's like,
yeah.
hey,
It's
boys
like,
and girls,
up.
what do you want?
Yeah. He's like, let me show you how to. Yeah, let me show you kids how to. How Mr. Robinson answers the door. Who is it? What do you want? Yeah. That's awesome. But and then a couple of my other sketches I like playing. I like Buckwheat Sings. So he says, "Hi, welcome to Buckwheat Sings," and then he's just singing these songs that are just like kind of like in the style of a little child that can't pronounce words correctly. So he's just like aunts, tas, few times a matey. so yeah, there's that one. He also has Gumby too, and then he has the Velvet Jones's School, and that's where he introduces the book How to Be a Hoe, and it's like the school of like how to be a hoe, I guess. Some like off the wall thing there, but yeah, that's pretty funny. So yeah, those are my favorite Eddie Murphy sketches, and Eddie Murphy's making a comeback. He's going to be in in Coming to America 2, and then I forget he's in My Name is Dolomite. I haven't seen that yet, but I want to watch it. Just kind of see if he still has it, if he still has the same Eddie Murphy that he once was. So we'll see.
I saw him in 1,000 Words.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
My next one would be. Actually, I would probably put Bill Murray between Eddie Murphy and Andy Samberg. I haven't seen a lot of his sketches for SNL, but just judging by his movies, I just really like his comedy, his sarcasm, like in Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and Groundhog Day and a lot of classic movies from the 80s and 90s.
The only thing from Bill Murray that I remember from Saturday Night Live, I don't know many of his sketches either, but he has one where he's a lounge singer and he's going around just singing parodies of songs and stuff. But I think that's the only one that I remember. Yeah. And also he was in the cheeseburger one too. He was in that sketch too. But was that your number 4? You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So my number 4 is Fred Armisen. So Fred Armisen, I think, is like one of the funniest human beings like on earth. Like the reason I just like the way that his face looks. Like his face, just looking at his face just cracks me up, because like there's so many sketches where they like zoom in on his face and he's like making weird facial expressions, or like he always has this kind of half smile thing going on that's just hilarious. And then also he did the spinoff Portlandia, which was like almost even funnier than his skits on Saturday Night Live. Like they're so good. But for Saturday Night Live though, probably my favorite one's definitely The Californians. He was on that too. Where it's like Devin, what are you doing here? You need to go home now. Now get back on the San Vicente, take it to the 10, switch over to the 405, and go north to Mulholland Drive, where you belong.
He's so corny. I have to be in the right mood to like him, because like it's like, yeah, he's just so corny, and what I like is he likes to try out things, especially if you watch Portlandia. It's almost like they set up a camera and they're like, okay, all right, just start doing something, and the first take we'll just use that and we'll go for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so he's like so corny in some of them that with him, I think it's really hit or miss. Like out of every 10 sketches, I find like one funny, really funny.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of interesting watching him and his doing his skits and seeing how like another actor might like try different things and only stick with what works, but for him, he'll just do everything.
Yeah, he'll do everything, and like even with like Portlandia, like he has
welcome, you're live
from Movie Hero. But yeah, so he has the one from Portlandia where he's like singing like the 80s are alive in Portland or whatever that song.
I love that.
Yeah. Like that just seems so random and like off the wall. But some of my other favorite sketches, like one of my so like actually this is one of my all-time favorite Saturday Night Live sketches, and it gets overlooked a lot. But there's this one that's called Farewell, Mr. Bunting. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So basically, the sketch is a parody of Dead Poets Society. So basically, the premise is he's a teacher at a school for boys, and kind of like in Dead Poets Society, and then he gets fired like in the middle of class, and so everyone's like saying goodbye to their beloved teacher that they love so much, and they start standing up on the desk like as a protest, and like playing all this kind of like really inspirational music. And he's like, well, I just came back to just grab the rest of my stuff, guys, and I gotta go. So yeah, they didn't let me go. Sorry. Like we're not gonna stand for this. Like they're like, So the one by one, they're like I stand for Mr. Bunting, and they keep standing up. But at the very end, you have Pete Davidson, and he stands up on the desk, and there's a ceiling fan, and he gets decapitated at the end, just like random, and it's like super shocking, and like blood just goes everywhere. And they're playing hot potato with his severed head, and no one knows what to do, and it's like really awkward. And then at the end, it just goes back to Fred Armisen. It's like, well, guess I better go now. See ya, or something. Just like really awkward. It's so funny. So he has that one, and he also has the Dyson toilet. It's like the first toilet that doesn't lose suction. So you like do it in the style of a Dyson commercial, which is just pretty hilarious. With it, like remember, it was like imagine that this bowl of pumpkin ravioli is half a pound of your fecal matter. See it, and it just sucks it right up. And as pumpkin ravioli was rather dense, I think that you can come to the conclusion that the toilet does not lose suction. But it like says it in a British accent though. That's like pretty funny. I'm like kind of imitating the guy who used to sell those vacuums. But yeah, and then he has one that's called the print show where he comes out.
And here's our next guest, Malia.
Hey, but yeah, so he has the print show where he comes out dressed like Prince in like the full get up, and he starts singing Prince song, and then he has all these other like guests that are just different actors. That one is definitely one to check out too, because he sings all the songs and everything. So hey Malia, welcome to the show. But yeah, Fred Armisen is my number 4. So what is your number 3?
We discussed mine already. You want to my number 3 would be like Bill Murray. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Dana Carvey. So Dana Carvey, to me, I think he's the king of impressions as far as Saturday Night Live goes. I mean, there were a few of them that were really good at doing impressions, like Daryl Hammond always did awesome in impression. And then I'm trying to think who else. Like I think Mike Myers did a fair amount of impression, but Dana Carvey, like he just gets all the mannerisms down super well. Like he's just like so good at it. So obviously you have Garth from Wayne's World. That's like one of the most iconic and probably one of my favorite movies of all time too. Probably out of any Saturday Night Live movie, definitely Wayne's World is my favorite. I think, with a close second to Night at the Roxbury, but I think Wayne's World might edge it out just a little bit for me. But and then he also did George Bush Sr., and then he did The Church Lady, and The Church Lady, like I always incorporate that into my everyday conversation. I was like, isn't that special? That is just extra special. So yeah, I think I got that from the Church Lady almost without even realizing it. I started saying it, and then when I first started thinking, I was like, what's that from? I'm not even sure what that's from. And I realized, oh yeah, that's Church Lady. So there's that, and then also he has the a chopping broccoli song. It's like he's chopping broccoli, and I think that he actually did that song for his audition for Saturday Night Live, but like ended up using it actually in an episode of Saturday Night Live, and I think that it's the footage actually from his audition, which is like pretty wild that they would actually use the audition footage in an actual episode.
Wow.
So yeah,
it's been good.
Yeah, and then he did Johnny Carson too, where he's like, wow, that is some weird, wild stuff. Like he just has the like voice down perfectly, and then he also does I am Hans and I am Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Yep. So yeah, he did that one, and then he also did a pretty hilarious impression of Ross Perot, just like one of those random politicians out there, but it's like really over the tops. If you ever check out one of those sketches, the Ross Perot one, I could never like do it how he does it, but yeah, that's my number 3 is Dana Carvey. So what's your Your number two.
My
Getting
number
down
two
to the
is
wire.
Chris Farley.
Ooh, so Chris Farley, I'll say that's a punt. So I mean, we all know who my number one is, but yeah, let's talk about Chris Farley.
um,
Of course, it's my
he-
number one. It's right here.
all right, so that's 2 or 1. He's pretty good. So he was a very like physical actor. He was like self-mocking sometimes, but he yeah, I just think of like the skit, like the Chippendales audition,
Yes,
where like he's
that's
next to
classic.
this like chiseled, the
Next to Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Patrick Swayze, this with his chiseled body, and he's like dancing next to him, and they're like
Yeah.
competing, like he has a chance next to this other guy, and it's just hilarious.
No, they,
And
too, where they're
go ahead.
like, well, we had a long deliberation. And we took a lot of things into consideration, but the thing is, though, like we had to go with Barney over here because really your body is just so bad and you're just way too fat. It's like, gee, thanks.
And
Also have
motivational speaker, of course.
Yeah, living in a van down by
those.
Yep. You may find out that
plenty of time for ruling doobies.
Yeah.
When you're in a van down by the river.
Yeah. It was like, you may ask yourself, Matt, how can I get back on the right track? Yeah. Or he's like this one time, there's this guy and he started out throwing eggs. Then he threw back a shot of whiskey. Then he threw his life away and ended up in jail. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. And then you also have the Bill Schwartzky super fans, the Bears, the Bulls. So you have that one. And then so recently, so there's one more little clip here that I wanted to show just because it's like this is a clip that I think most people probably haven't seen before, and I came across it only just maybe like a month ago. But let me see if I can share screen. But this is one that's called Teen Band. So you have Christian Slater as the host, and they're like these teenagers. They want to start a band, so they're like trying to come up with these ideas. But Chris Farley's just passed out on the couch like the whole entire time. Like he's maybe drunk or something, and so he just wakes up at like random times and he starts just like shouting out random things that are just like so funny. So let me see here, but you have to see it to kind of like understand just the kind of off the wall stuff that he said. So I'm just gonna play a little part when so you see him kind of just passed out there on.
I'm not seeing this one
on the couch, and then let's see. Hang on, I'm waiting for it to maximize on the screen. Well. There we go. Okay.
Can't hear it.
So just
money,
there we
man. The best way to get some cash flow going is to invent something. We need like killer idea that like the guy that invented the pet rock, he's got it made. He does nothing ever. All he does is just kick back in his pad all day and get baked. Cats and elephant checks. Then what was I saying?
That's the mess.
Nothing.
Nothing. You're stupid. But anyways, yeah, there's like spitballing ideas, and like throughout the sketch though, he just keeps waking up and just saying random things like trying to like pick a name, and they're like oh, I got it. What about guns and roses? Like, you idiot, that's already abandoned. What about Guns and Roses 2?
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Yeah, but yeah, so that one just kind of like probably one most people probably haven't seen before. So yeah, but yeah, let's see. I think that's the only other one that I wanted to mention from Chris Farley is like the fake coffee test thing, where it's like It's like Schiller Vision, and he's like, "Sir, are you aware that you're drinking real, genuine decaffeinated Colombian coffee crystals?" And he's like, "What?" And it's like a hidden camera, like a taste test thing. You son of a! And he's like, "You lied to me!" And he just starts going crazy and just like destroying the whole entire room. There's like going nuts. That's so good.
I remember we were watching that once. It was like I think it must have been like the best of Chris Farley or something like that. And it was so funny. We were laughing so hard we could, it's like you could barely breathe.
Yeah,
like your stomach starts hurting. And, and then we watched it like over and over again. It might have even been on a VHS. It was so long ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, like we probably watched it not too long after it was released. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have the battle of the top ones. Mine is Will Ferrell.
Okay.
He was like the headliner of the Saturday Night Live in his era in the 90s, and I just loved the way he would just get so angry about things in the middle of a skit, like the angry boss.
Yeah,
he's like, and then he just right snaps back to like being a nice guy again.
Yeah, like he was always hilarious when he was yelling. Like my favorite is like, "Get off the shed! Get off the shed!" And he's just yelling over.
Yeah, the parents having the barbecue sketch, and then the more cowbell. Sketch where he's got a tight shirt with his belly hanging out, and
the belly hanging out. Yeah, he's just going crazy, just going nuts on the
couch. He had a way of like making any sketch he was in like funnier. He was able to do like multiple, like he didn't do just one person. It was like different people he was able to do. He was able to do like George Bush and the sketches we had mentioned. And so he just really carried the show at that time. So for that, I give him a number one on the list.
Yeah, and he was in so many things that it's like hard to even list them all. Like he was a Night at the Roxbury. He did that, and then he was a Spartan cheerleader. He was that, and then he also did. We hosted Janet Reno's dance party where you dressed up like Janet Reno, and she was like a real manly like woman. So he had that one, and then he also he had Harry Carey where he would so Harry Carey for people who don't know who that is, he was an announcer for the Chicago Cubs, and he was a super eccentric guy with these big thick Coke bottle glasses. So he would just say random stuff. So one of them, he's like, "If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? Would you just slather yourself in ketchup and mustard and take a big old bite? I sure would." Yeah, and a couple of my other favorite sketches from Will Ferrell too. He has one. It's a commercial that's like tips. It's a book that's called "Dissing Your Dog."
That was
Yeah. So he's like, for like a fussy dog. Like there's like one where the dog's trying to eat, and he's like, "Oh right, Margaret, you wanted prime rib. Well, here's the deal.
You're a dog."
He says, he's like, "Here's the deal. The Palm wasn't taking reservations, and we didn't try Morton's because I understand they have a new chef that's working. So for now, let's just go with the Alpo. I know it's not your first choice, but keep in mind, you're an effing dog." And he like gets down into the dog's face and like whispers it to him. Yeah. And then also, he has the one that's called The Professors Virginia and Roger Cliven. They're like the really awkward, kind of like overly like sexual guys in the hot tub that like make everyone feel super awkward.
Yeah.
With Rachel Dratch. So like I even got like a couple of lines from it. So there's one where he's with Jimmy Fallon, and like Jimmy Fallon's the guy getting really like kind of weirded out by him, and then Drew Barrymore comes and like sits in the hot tub, and then she goes, "We should mention." Oh no! So like Will Ferrell at first he says, "So we should mention to you that the waters above feel calm, but below the surface there is a frenzy of activity: hands groping, fingers fluttering, thighs twitching in the anticipation of all the lovemaking that will take place in this hot tub less than 12 minutes from now. And then Drew Barrymore, he's like talking to Jimmy Fallon. They call him David, but he's like, David, don't be alarmed by the professors Raj and Verge at the We met at the university. We'd taken a trip to the Grand Canyon. After a supper of jackrabbit and haunches, we laid into the stars. And then Will Ferrell's like, and somewhere in the distance, we heard the pounding of native drums. Was it in our minds? We don't know. That night, the great eagle spirit appeared at our tent and beckoned us to make love. We submitted to its ravenous desires as the three of us became one with the great eagle spirit. So yeah, one of the hilarious things about that sketch is you have Jimmy Fallon, who always breaks character, so like he's always laughing and always just like getting everybody else to laugh. So the whole time they're like trying so hard to keep a straight face, but they can't get through it all because it's just like, one, probably Jimmy Fallon making them laugh, but then two, just like the awkwardness of what they're trying to say. It's just like, yeah. So yeah, that one's definitely one of my favorites. So, but I already revealed my number two or my number one, but my number two is actually a Bill Hader. So Bill Hader, actually, so I think he's another guy who does some really awesome impressions. He knows how to get like a really deep voice going on, and like he does like that guy from Dateline that's like always kind of creepy. He's like, oh, what'd you do next? Drag your body into the alleyway and have your way with it. Oh, and it zooms in on, he looks all like creepy. But he does one, and this is the last clip that I wanted to share, but he does an impression of Alan Alda from MASH, and they do this thing that's Alan Alda auditioning for different movies, and it's just like, oh, it's so good. Let's see. Oh, I gotta remember to share audio. Okay. Here it comes. Okay, let's see. Give it a minute because my computer's slow when it comes to screen sharing. I need to get the dual monitor set up so I don't have to worry about like splitting my screen. Okay.
Hey, what are you looking at, Butthead? Hey, why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? You know, that is a great line. That is so great. You know, the stuff you guys are doing with the 50s and everything. You know, I had jackets like this. Can you believe that? I'm the old guy. Son, your ego's writing checks your body can't cash. You know, that is a terrific line. I feel like I understand everything about this movie just from the one line. That's good writing, you know. I don't know about airplanes.
Alan Alda, formal doom.
Clever girl.
Clever girl.
That dinosaur comes out and attacks me. Oh, God, you guys, that is great. That is just terrific. And how are you guys going to shoot the dinosaurs? Is it going to be force perspective? So, you know, that's how we shot Jamie Farr on MASH. Yeah, no, he's only about 2 feet tall. You know.
But anyways, so yeah, so he just does really great impressions, but the best though, I gotta say, is Stefan by far. Like, I mean, it's not really an impression; it's a character. But like, for me, I always thought that if they were to ever make the next SNL movie, they need to make a Stefan movie. I would actually watch that as a Stefan movie. That'd be great. So even like yeah, so I got some of the lines that he says in one of his sketches. So he always so Stefan, for anyone who hasn't seen it, like he's this guy, kind of like a gothic type guy, kind of, but also borderline kind of gay or something. I'm not totally sure, but he's always talking about the hottest nightclub. So he appears on Weekend Update and he talks about the hottest nightclub. So where it's like the hottest, or no, where he's like one of New York's hottest nightclubs it's called Slice, with twinks, gypsies, grown men in wedding dresses, A Cat from a Bodega, Puppets in Disguise, Alf going out in a trench coat, or here's our next club, Taste, designed by Tranny Griffith. Don't look for a bouncer because there isn't one. Instead, the door is guarded by 10 jacked homeless guys in bathing suits, and the inside is just sick. You have ice sculptures, winos, Grempf, and then you have Seth Meyers, and he's like, Grempf? What's a Grempf? He's like, oh, you're like German Smurfs. And then Teddy Ruxpin wearing mascara, an old lady with kids in her hair, and none other than DJ Baby Bok Choy. He's like, Bok Choy, okay. I have to ask this what Seth Meyers said. He says, what's a giant 300-pound Chinese baby with tinted aviator glasses, and he spins records with his little ravioli hands? Or there's New York's hottest nightclub, Slash. This place has everything: glass, steam, bear traps, and just when you think the fun is over, knock, knock, who's there? It's Black George Washington, and all that in a party room filled with human bath mats. And they said human bath mats, it's that thing where the midgets have dreadlocks and they lay face down on the floor. It's like, what the heck? It's like, okay. Like, he's just like super creepy, but it's hilarious because he just says all this off the wall things, just kind of just like listing just crazy stuff. So that's definitely one of my favorites. And then one other quick one I want to give a shout out to. So he does a commercial that's called Taco Town. That's like these guys sitting in a Mexican restaurant, and they're like, Taco Town. All right, so we take our ground beef, lettuce, cheese, tomato, and in a crispy shell, Taco Town, and they go to eat it, and they're like, oh nope, not yet. You can't eat it yet because you got to wrap that in a soft shell, a tortilla, and a corn shell, a tortilla, and line it with a layer of pico de gallo and refried beans. And they go to take another bite. But first, we wrap that inside a Chicago-style deep dish pizza and a Parisian crepe, cover it in some batter, and we deep fry it until it's golden brown. Taco Town.
You gotta have the visuals for that, like the visuals of it, like all the sauce and everything sliding into each other and being dropped
it's like
on the
slamming
plate.
into it.
Like,
Yeah, they're like, take it home in one of our special tote bags filled with our special picante salsa, and it like slams down. You see the salsa just go flying everywhere. Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome.
Can you hear the piano in the background?
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta get going, but maybe we should go through and just a summary of our lists again. So for my list,
yeah.
I had starting from 10. Jason Sudeikis, Chris Kattan, Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, Kristen Wiig, Andy Samberg, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, Chris Farley, and Will Ferrell. So I think we're agreeing on a lot of these. We're agreeing on at least being in the top 10. Will Ferrell, Chris Farley,
Yep. Chris Farley, yeah.
Andy Samberg, Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler.
Yep. Adam Sandler, Mike Myers.
And Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And then what's your top 10 summary?
So my top 10 is I've got Andy Samberg, Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, Mike Myers, Will Ferrell, Eddie Murphy, Fred Armisen, Dana Carvey, Bill Hader, and Chris Farley. So if we were to come up with, I'm actually gonna just do a little note on my phone. That's probably the quickest. But if we were to come up with the definitive top 5, so you have Will Ferrell for number 1. I have Chris Farley.
We'll do both of those in the top 5.
So, I mean, I could probably say Will Ferrell just because, I mean, Will Ferrell really carried Saturday Night Live. I mean, I think Chris Farley is the funniest human being that ever lived, in my opinion. But I mean, as far as Saturday Night Live standards go, Will Ferrell really kind of carried the show. So I'd say Will Ferrell.
And it's
So we'll put it-
unfortunate Chris Farley didn't, he didn't live as long, because if he had lived longer, he might have, even a bigger impact on movies. And I guess he
Yeah,
was already gone from SNL, but we'd remember him by even more.
Yeah, because so I don't know if very many people know, but Chris Farley was supposed to be the original voice of Shrek. So you can go onto YouTube and you can see some early animation and actually have him animated as the voice of Shrek, and you can actually see what it sounds like having Chris Farley do the voice, which is pretty cool. So so we got Chris Farley number 2. Number 3, I have Dana Carvey. Who do you have for number 3 on your list?
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. That's my number 5. You didn't have Dana Carvey or Fred Armisen on your list, right?
No.
So we can go Eddie Murphy number 3 then, since we both have him. So Eddie Murphy, and then for number 4, so next one we have similar. So you had Mike Myers on your list, right?
Yeah.
So that's my number 7. What do you have?
He's my number 8.
Okay, so we could go Mike Myers next, since that's one we can both agree on. And then we both had Adam Sandler, right? That's my number 8. Where do you have Adam Sandler?
Yeah, he's number 7. So
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. He could be 5.
Adam Sandler. And then actually, just going pretty quick, we could actually do a quick top 10. So let's make it quick. This is how we do it quick. So I have Bill Hader number 2. Who do you have for number 2?
Chris Farley.
Okay.
Next would be Bill Murray.
Okay, so since I have Bill Hader rated a little higher, I would probably put Bill Hader next, and then put Bill Murray. So we got the 2 Bills. So we got Bill Murray, and then my next one down, my number 3 is Dana Carvey. Who was your number 3 or your number 4 that we haven't said? Your next one on that.
Andy Samberg.
Oh, and I've got Andy Samberg number 10, so we could put Andy Samberg next.
Okay.
And then let's see. Then
and Bill Hader, he is a funny guy. Even though he wasn't on my list, he was kind of on top 15, I'd say. So yeah,
okay.
I don't have a problem having him on the top 10 overall.
Okay. Probably my only other one that's on here that we don't have is Chris Rock, but who else do you have? I have Chris Rock 9.
Chris, let's see. Oh, that we can agree on.
You had Kristen Wiig. What?
Yeah,
what
Kristen Wiig, number 6.
Oh yeah, so actually, I would even put that over Andy Samberg, because I had Andy Samberg at number 10. You had him at what, like 8 or 9?
Yeah. Okay, so that could be 8, and Andy Samberg 9, and then.
So we'll put Kristen.
I mean,
Wiig. And then who else do you have?
Chris Kattan.
That would actually work, because I actually have Chris Kattan as my number 11. So I'd be.
I don't know.
Unless you want to go with Kenan Thompson, just
or
for
Kenan.
the legacy.
Kenan. I mean, I was kind of thinking of Kenan because, I mean, he's been on so long, and you gotta love the guy. We could put him at number 10.
And also,
I've
he has
grown
so
up
many.
with him, like from when I was just a little kid to now. It's like he's probably about the same age as us, or maybe.
Yeah. Right. So and also too, Kenan Thompson has so many random sketches. He has this one. So if you ever look at him, or look up the sketch of him doing LeVar Ball. So LeVar Ball is, so he has a son that's in the NBA, but his dad is so like so over the top. So his son's Lonzo Ball. He plays in the NBA, but his dad LeVar is like a promoter that's always hyping his son up. He's like, He was like, "We number one. Like we're gonna go to the top. We're better than Michael Jordan. Like he claims his son's better than Michael Jordan. Like they came out with the big baller brand. So they had these shoes that were basketball shoes, and they're selling them for $500 a piece for these shoes. It's crazy. And so he was like, yeah, we got the big baller brand shoes. We got all the swag. My son's number one, better than LeBron, better than Michael Jordan. So Kenan Thompson does some little segments on Weekend Update of Lonzo Ball, and it's so good. It's so funny. So if you ever have some time, I definitely recommend to anyone that's watching to check those out. But yeah, Kenan Thompson number 10. So
He's
we got a top 10.
He's going to be hosting the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards March 13th. So
Oh, nice.
He's coming back to his original network.
Yeah, I want to see him team up with Kel. Like they got to do like a little team up or something. And also
gotta give him props for showing up on Studio C and supporting them when they did Studio C in New York City.
Yeah, that was awesome. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's actually on Studio C. And then and also he's gonna have his own TV show over on Peacock that's called Kenan. So that's where I'm hoping we're gonna get a cameo from Kel on that show, hopefully. So we'll see if it actually happens. But yeah, so I'm gonna just list off our final combined top 10 list. I'm gonna do a little drum roll and then we'll do it.
All
so
right, here we go.
We got at number 10 we have Kenan Thompson. At number 9 we have Andy Samberg. At number 8 we have Kristen Wiig. At number 7 we have Bill Murray for the classic era. And then at number 5 we have Adam Sandler. At number 4 we have Mike Myers. And number 3 we have Eddie Murphy. Number 2 we have Chris Farley. And number 1 our number 1 of all time that we agreed upon, Will Ferrell. So that's it. Those are the official and I always encourage everybody to just go and check out clips from these guys. They're like, you'll definitely have a good time. I've definitely been down some rabbit holes where I start watching clips and then it's like an hour's gone by and like I'm just laughing and having a good time the whole way. So yeah. And I will definitely be back with some more episodes. You may see Mark from time to time, but he might not be on every single episode. But I want to pick a season of Saturday Night Live. Probably start somewhere in the early 90s is what I'm thinking. Maybe around time Dana Carvey first came on the show, and I was going to start watching seasons. I'm going to have one of these episodes out a week. So maybe just me, just talking about the episode and the sketches that I love, the ones that I maybe didn't so much, and then I might have a guest with me from time to time. So yeah, that'll be the next thing going forward. So, but anyways, it's been a lot of fun. So Mark, is there anywhere that people can find you, or you just in hiding?
I have this BSU enginerd.blogspot.com. Bam. And I am
All right, awesome.
I am on
Nice.
I was off of Twitter and Facebook for a while. I'll probably go back on. I think they figured out at this point, if people cancel, they eventually come crawling back, begging for their social media accounts.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's been a lot of the like canceling stuff going on. Yesterday, I was trying to watch that My Pillow guy. He had a documentary out, Mike Lindell, and that was like all about the election fraud and all that stuff. And I was trying to watch it, and 4 different times while I was watching it, the video kept getting taken down from YouTube. They kept getting deleted. So so I never got to finish it. But
Thanks.
But anyways, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But for me, you can find me all over the Movie Hero channel. I do a few other shows. So this Monday at I think we're going live at 8:30 Pacific time. We're going to be doing finally part 3 of the best and worst movie remakes and reboots. So we're actually going to come up with a definitive top 10 and a bottom 10, and then we're going to have a little debate on what's going to go on our final list, kind of in the middle as well. And then we have blind spots coming up this week. Me and Chris Scott are going to be doing a review on the movie Onward. So we've been a little delayed getting that out because we've got some other stuff we've been filming another project, but that's definitely coming out this week, maybe around Tuesday possibly. So we're gonna have that, and then you can also find me over on the Facebook group that's called Schmodown Friends and Family. I've already talked a little bit on these shows about what that is, but if you have anything that you're working on, any projects or any YouTube channels you want to promote, you can go to Schmodown Friends and Family. You can promote there. We definitely encourage anyone to just promote whatever they're working on, and we just build you up and we support you over there. So that's kind of the main point of that group. But anyways, this has been a lot of fun. So for live from Movie Hero, gotta get used to saying the new title. That this has been Mark the Enginerd Johnson and Jordan Anderson. We'll see you later.
Peace.